Hi, I'm Daniel Pickett here at Action Figure Insider, and we are once again graced by the presence of our old friend, Mr. Bill Beneke of Mattel.
Wow, well, thank you. Thank you. What a nice introduction. Hello, everyone.
It's lovely to have you again, and it's such a pleasure that you allow us to get to do this, to take a deeper look at the Comic-Con exclusives.
Well, I love to share, and it's certainly, I wish it was more than annual. But,
yes.
But it's always a treat to come out and talk and give a little detail about what we've been up to. So.
Yes. So, it's not a secret to know that the 6-inch line is coming to an end at Mattel.
Yes,
at the end of this year.
This is true. It's winding down, so we wanted to make sure that we go out on just the best note that we could. So we're looking to celebrate in a few different ways. I think everyone has seen the Toy Biz nostalgia wave that's going to be coming. So we're celebrating sort of the late 80s, and for all folks around my age who got into Batman around that time, that period of Batman's career with Joker and Poison Ivy, so finally getting to a more classic looking Poison Ivy.
Yes.
So that's actually a Kenner homage more than a Toy Biz homage. So we're mixing our metaphors somewhat, but I think it's all good. I think we'll be forgiven. We've got our Batman's 80th Multiverse wave. So that's the wave that will wind down Multiverse. That's going to be premiered at Comic-Con. It's going to be in the case. So I think the names have been floating around online, but no one has seen the figures yet. So I think everyone's in for a fun treat, and we're going to be celebrating some core characters from the Batman world there, and a couple of first time in the line, so that's great. And then, of course, we have our Comic-Con item, which is something altogether different.
Yes, and I think it's kind of nice to point out, like, it all started with Batman, and then we're gonna end on Batman. It was 2006, I think.
I believe so.
When Mattel started, and you only had the license for the Batman family.
Yes.
Eventually, you picked up Superman, and
then our friends at Warner Brothers worked out a fantastic situation with DC Comics to create a master toy license that would allow us to go into the vault.
Yes.
And I think we managed to go pretty deep into the vault and had a mighty good time playing in there. And now it comes back to Batman.
But a little bit too. When did you start?
2008.
2008. Okay. So when you think about a lot of the toy lines for our childhood, most of them didn't span a decade or more. Like they would kind of have this thing and they would end. Like to keep that sort of creativity and ingenuity and sort of pushing forward for something. I mean, it helps that you have that sort of an evergreen property that's keep publishing new stories and new TV shows and
rich history.
Yes,
a rich history, as we'll talk about with
yes. But I just think that's kind of significant. I mean, that is a career spanning line for.
It is. I mean, I think our initial goal, of course, was always superpowers. That was what we had our eyes on, and could we, not to get competitive and say, could we trump superpowers? That's an incredible toy line. The Flash figure is still one of my very favorite action figures, period. So not to say could we trump it, but could we honor it? Could we match ourselves to it? Could we do something hopefully as significant, or at least make a bold attempt to do so? And I think we did, not just in character choices, but certainly since we've come back under the Multiverse name, the new sculpting that the Horsemen have brought to the table, the new approach to likenesses, our upgraded articulation, all of this was in the works for a very long time.
Right.
And I think we're seeing it as just sort of that final, like, oh, if only. It was in the works for a very long time to get here. So I'm glad we could get all of this out for the fans. And
is there anyone you still wish? I wish we could have got to.
Of course, it's a long list. It's a long list. I always jokingly go to, not really jokingly, not a joke at all, actually. I go to Signal Man. I go to Blockbuster.
Oh, yeah,
I go to Calendar Man. Yeah, there are all those types of characters. There are definitely, though, a lot of core characters that we would love to get to. You know, we had certain figures that were planned that for one reason or another fell out that we wanted to get to. Aqualad. So, I mean, there's certainly opportunity in the future.
Yes. But we're going to talk here about this, the Comic-Con exclusive set. And this to me, like, you know, I posted the pictures online, I've shared them. Seeing this in person is shocking.
It's a little bit different when you have it in front of you and
Yeah.
you have it, you know, the context of scale.
Yeah,
So
because it seems, you know, in the pictures,
seems like a small
about
box,
that big.
right?
Yeah, you take that. But
It's 4 figures. You're like, oh,
Yes.
it's only 4 figures. How big can the box be? But
well, let's find out how
let's
big
take a
this
look.
box is. As long as our torsos.
yeah, here let's
This box.
lean in next to the box. We can-
Hello, box.
yeah. So this box it's significant.
It's enormous.
As you can see, it's celebrating an 80-page giant Batman.
Yep.
And I'll just tilt it around here. The Strange Lives of Batman. I think our packaging team has done an incredible job,
Really beautiful.
really delivering, you know, year after year, an incredible job, and really in this particular case, delivering on a very cool moment in time. So for longtime fans, I think there's a lot here that will tickle one's fancy and put a smile on our face. And really that's what this is. So I mentioned the Toy Biz era. I mentioned, I didn't say modern era with the Batman's 80th wave, but we're going to be looking at the modern era. Certainly we've celebrated a lot of Batman's history throughout the line. And at Comic-Con we're going to have a large display of a lot of classics and multiverse figures to show sort of the breadth of the Batman catalog that we've built over the years. But one place we haven't played too deeply, with the possible exception of Planet X Batman,
oh, yes.
depending, that's clearly the Grant Morrison version, but
Right.
depending, is the Silver Age. And that felt like, for the 80th anniversary, that was something we needed to celebrate. So this giant monolith of a box is a love letter to the Silver Age of Batman. And obviously, I have a great love affair with this time period. Zebra Batman has been kicking around for a long time since we showed that figure in the case.
Yeah, and that was just a figure you made, right?
Yes.
That you slipped in there
Yes.
just as a joke.
Just as a joke.
And
Just
now
as a joke.
He's a
And-
reality.
And now, and the nice thing is, you talk about the longevity of. I'm going to put the giant box down. I actually can't see Daniel when you're talking. The nice thing about the longevity of the line was that was a Zebra Batman of that time. He had a molded plastic cape. He had a certain, you know, body type with certain articulation. And now, because we've introduced new base bodies, it's a new take, and it's a different head sculpt, which is kind of nice. And we approached the deco on him differently, and our wonderful partners overseas were really gracious in putting up with me revising the striping pattern on a couple of occasions. And the cape, the material that they provided, is really nice and sort of silky, which we wouldn't have done once upon a time.
Right.
So I think we've taken the learnings of now and applied it to something that we wanted to do then that celebrates this moment in time.
Okay.
So,
Let's crack it open.
okay. Do you want to do the honor? Shall I?
Yeah, well, let's have you do it.
Okay.
You're more familiar.
Okay. So I'm going to turn it on its side, which won't really do it justice, but we'll keep it largely in frame.
You need a spotter or anything? Are you all right?
Yeah, here, you,
All right.
you pull. Okay, so as we remove it from the shipper box,
It's still just as large.
and we move this over here. So, as you can see, we have an outer sleeve, and we are celebrating for Batman's 80th anniversary an 80-page giant. Is there a more signature DC format? Sure, the 100-page super spectaculars are great, but for me, it's
You kids
always,
today with your 100-page comic books at Walmart. Back in our day, we
Yep.
had 80 pages and we
Exactly.
liked it.
with go-go checks.
Yes.
So
very.
that was, yeah. So that was very important to deliver on, an 80-page giant for the 80th. And ultimately, not just 4 versions of the character, but 8.
Which I don't think has been really well explained so far in some of the announcements. And I'm even surprised you got to do the old logo with National Comics.
Yes.
Like that's...
Yes, our partners were very receptive. So as you can see from the front panel, there's an acetate sleeve.
Just beautiful. I mean, just the presentation of it right here is...
Yep, the pack out is creating 4 different stories. Obviously, How to Be the Batman. This is our standard blue and gray Batman. The Negative Batman, the Zebra Batman, and the Rainbow Batman. Recreating those covers. And then as we move around to the back panel, so both of the side panels feature unique art. And as we move to the back panel, again, our packaging designer, Roy, has done a beautiful job working with our copywriter, Rob, to recreate the contents page of an 80-page giant. So we didn't just settle for go-go checks. They really, really went deep, and each of the figures has a descriptor, as you would find in an 80-page giant in the 1960s. So just a very cool outer sleeve. Again, unique art.
And I see the whole box, all these figures, only 25 cents.
Yeah,
that's
only
amazing.
25 cents.
Wait a minute.
Yes, if only. Okay, so.
It's actually an $80 item available at Comic-Con. Can people still pre-order online?
Yes,
do you know?
they can still pre-order
online. So you can still pre-order online if you're not going to Comic-Con.
Yes.
And even if you are going to Comic-Con, they're not picking up at Comic-Con this year. They're going to ship it to you afterwards.
Yes.
So still available online at... is it MattelShop.com?
I believe so.
It's not in the vault, I don't think.
So,
yeah.
no.
We'll put a link in the description of this, and it'll take you right to it, because it's definitely worthwhile and a lot of fun. And again, there's surprises inside that I don't think everyone knows about.
That's right. Okay, so I will not necessarily go into the surprises first, just to give you guys a better view of the figures. So this is our new base body. So he's got the double knees, he's got the rocker ankles, etc. A good Silver Age Batman, Negative Batman who's actually translucent. That can be a little bit hard to pick up. I think the photography does a great job, but in case there was any question, he actually is a translucent black. Negative Batman, and of course, Negative Batman, Zebra Batman, and Rainbow Batman.
And you can pop all these guys out of here without destroying the packaging.
All of them pop out just like this. They're in a single blister, and you can get an idea of
wow, look at that cape.
Rainbow's amazing cape.
Awesome.
We'll pop Zebra out here as well. And the graphics continue all the way around into the bed of the package.
Love it.
So again, recreating those covers, those moments. We'll take Zebra out so folks can get an idea. It's probably a little hard to pick up on camera, but
I think they'll do it.
yeah,
We'll take some close-up shots and cut them in here.
sheen of the cape is pretty cool.
That's amazing.
And then we have this area up here,
Yes.
which is actually a flap. So I did mention there's 8 characters in here. Silver Age Batman, I'm counting purely as he's a completely new sculpted head and base body with a soft goods cape. So he's fairly different, even a different logo than we had done previously on Silver Age Batman. So we have these guys here, and then under the flap,
Wait a minute.
look at that. So you have interchangeable pieces to create Rip Van Batman, because DC was doing Old Man Batman before anyone else was doing Old Man. The Alien Batman, Batman's robot twin, one of the most beautifully rendered covers of the Silver Age, a personal favorite of mine. So Batman's robot twin, and weirdly enough, our first comic-based Bruce Wayne in a long time. So those parts are all here.
And these, again, if you're a young whippersnapper, these are all legitimate Batmen that appeared in comic books in the Silver Age.
Yes. So this is
not just like, hey, we're a toy company making up crazy variants. These are all actual stories that appeared.
They're authentic, and then just reach into the Bat logo here. You can pull out the drawer, and there's actually a poster as well. So that's the totality of it. So 8 versions of Batman for the 80th anniversary, wrapped up in an 80-page giant.
Amazing.
And then if we want to go to the specific of the figure.
So here's the Silver Age Batman loose.
Yep, so here he is. As you can see, he's got our new base body, the soft goods cape, that unique logo I talked about. And then you can actually, let's open the drawer. Because everyone knows how interchangeable heads work. I won't go into that. But Batman has an interchangeable faceplate, which
I don't know that I've seen on a Batman before.
Not from us, not here. It's something that we had seen from some Bandai figures.
Okay, all right.
But this is a little bit different take. So you pop out the face piece, and you can pop in.
He's got his regular face. He's got the Rip Van Batman, or
he's got the robot
Batman face also just clips in like that.
All three can switch out. So I'll put regular Batman face back in while I reach for Batman's robot twin. And then again, reach in, detach, plug in, and you have Batman's robot twin.
Awesome.
So, very cool. Lots of display options here, and then we'll also have the alien Batman head, which is just pure Silver Age DC.
Yes.
And Bruce Wayne.
Love that Bruce Wayne.
So he is definitely taken from that late golden, early Silver Age styling. So very specific to that era. And I think really, Love Letter sums it up. That's what this is. This is an era of Batman's history that it evolved into the new look. It evolved into, of course, then the great return to Gothic noir in the 70s and on into multiple permutations. But this was a very unique and special time period in his history, and we felt it was a time to be celebrated.
Well, I mean, it's really, you and the team, you can see the blood, sweat, and tears that went into this. I mean, it's really the presentation of it, the care, just the above and beyond to make him translucent, to make the cape, a rainbow cape, to sort of seek out versions of Batman that have never been made as figures before.
I mean, really, one nice thing, even taking the familiar, our structural engineer Autumn and Roy worked out on the Silver Age Batman, to recreate that cover. His tie down is actually a rope, and he's swinging on his bat line above Gotham, next to Robin. So it's just that level of detail that speaks of the love that went into this.
And he's a little pricey now, but you can find that Silver Age Robin.
Yes.
That was in DCUC.
Yes.
So
he 14, I want to say.
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's out there if you want to have Batman and Robin together, but I know he's...
And there's a couple of Batmites floating around.
Yes, there are. That is correct. Yeah.
So...
So just such a lovely tribute to a bygone age, and again, Batman's 80th, it's Comic-Con's 50th, and it's the end of a long, beautiful stretch for you guys too. So it's just such a lovely bow on the gift that you've been giving us. That is the DC 6-inch line for so long. And also to the Horsemen, thank you to those guys.
Yes.
Thank you to past folks that have worked on this line, have also put their love into this line.
It's been, I think the gift has been ours. The tremendous support we've had all these years, that we could keep doing this. We couldn't have done 10 years if no one was interested.
Yeah.
The support, the passion, when folks have talked to me at Comic-Con, and things that have pleased them, things that have upset them, both equally, it means that people care.
Yeah.
And certainly I think every time we stepped up to bat, We always tried to hit a homer. There's a fair amount of singles, a couple bunts, and
and not everything was always in your control. Sometimes you had some ideas, and other people had other ideas.
Exactly. It's a big team effort.
And sometimes while it was your car, it was someone else's keys.
Well, that's an excellent way to put it. That's an excellent way to put it. But I do think we had a lot of fun, and we were really fortunate to work with everyone who's contributed to this line on so many fronts. All of the wonderful other designers who've worked on this, packaging partners, all the development guys. One of whom I've been working with for 10 years solidly on this, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a gift.
So again, it's still available right now. It's going to be available to buy at Comic-Con if you're down there at Comic-Con. I really think you're going to kick yourself if you miss out on this one. I don't know that it was fully announced properly for people to really just get on board and go, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And even for me, who knows what this is and kind of knew this was coming, seeing it here, it's completely different than what I had in my mind.
I think that's the biggest thing is that there's some beautiful photography that's been made available, and it really does a great job of getting into the details of the figures. And with figures, it's kind of a known quantity, and we all know how to look at them online. But I think for the statement, and size does play a part, seeing it is if not believing, at least understanding.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think it has a lot of power when I'll just tilt this up, when you see this in front of you. If you're at all a fan of Batman's varied history, this is a neat moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here, Bill, and showing us this. This is really great. I will see you down at Comic-Con. We'll take a look at your big wall of Batman.
Yep.
We'll take a look at all your awesome reveals.
Yes, we will actually be making some reveals at the show. So we'll have a wave of multiverse to show. We'll have updated samples on some other multiverse figures that have been announced, and we will have some new 12-inch and 6-inch on display. So
awesome.
Yeah, we definitely, and those will also celebrate different eras of Batman. So I think once everyone sees sort of the holistic program, we actually are dropping in and paying an homage to 1939 over here, and 1989 over here, and 1992 over here, and yeah, I think it's a nice way to celebrate a very special birthday for a very special character.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you guys very much for watching. We will be back with more Comic-Con coverage and goodness here on Action Figure Insider. Make sure you hit like on the video, subscribe, share it wherever you like. We always appreciate that. And thank you for Bill for his time.
Oh, my pleasure always.
And thank you all for watching. We'll be back with lots more Comic-Con goodness here on actionfigureinsider.com.